Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Tech Tejendra, and in this OpenShift tutorial we will understand and we will learn what is OpenShift template, how we can create and process the template, and then we will see what are the different elements of the template like image stream, build and deployment configuration, service, route and other like volume claim and other things. Okay, so let me go ahead. So what are the elements of templates? Okay, so build configurations. Build configurations means if you are having your code inside your repository kind of git, okay, then you need to build the code first. Okay, build strategy can be anything. You can have the docker file, you can have your h2i image, means you are having your source code, and then OpenShift will automatically will identify the language in which your code has been written and can create the build and can start the build for your. Okay, and then we can have the image stream. Once the build process is done, okay, then image will be created from your code. Okay, either from the docker file or either from the h2i concept, image will be created. Okay, or you can have image in the image registry like a docker, like query.io. Okay, so that OpenShift can directly import that image from the image registry and can store that image inside the internal image registry of the OpenShift, from where it will do the deployment of your workloads. Okay, and then we are having the deployment config. Deployment config means once you are having your image in the image stream, okay, then by using this image stream it will deploy and create the pods. Okay, and in between this deployment config there are many things. Okay, I will let you know. Then we can create the service. Okay, means the networking service means on which port your image is listening, your container is listening, so configure all these things. So these things will come inside the service. Then route. Okay, how the external environment will access your containers, so that will come inside the routes. Then how we will see how we can write the routes in the template. And then persistent volume claim we will also discuss. Okay, if your container requires some storage, suppose if you are if your container is a database container kind of thing, okay, then it's need a persistent volume to store all the data. Okay, in your database container. Likewise, suppose if you are having a simple Java application or any other application which are using file system to store some data, okay, on all these cases you need the persistent volume claim. Okay, so let me go ahead and understand all these things, and at last we are having the parameters. Okay, so once we will write the template, okay, then there is a section of parameters. So because template can be the dynamic template, okay, so you can use in multiple projects and multiple things. So you can use the parameters, and these are kind of the runtime parameter. Once you will execute the once you will create the templates and once you will execute the template, at that time you need to provide the parameters. Okay, so once we will deep dive, you will get clarity on this. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me show you my template. Here I have written a template for you. Okay, and in this template, as I show you, shown you, we will discuss about the image stream, build config, deployment configuration, service, and the route. Okay, persistent volume claim I will cover in the next tutorial, because it is tough to understand as of now once you are understanding the template. Okay, and then the example application which I am using for it, let me also give you some idea of that applications. This application I have written in Java using the Spring Boot, and I have pushed all the code inside my Git repository inside this QA branch. Okay, I have created a new branch for it, QA. I named it QA. Okay, and then this is my application. All my Java source goes inside this source folder, and I am using the docker file. Okay, so for this example we will use the docker file concept of building the image. Okay, what it will do, the OpenShift will connect to our Git. okay, on this branch QA, and we'll see if it is having Docker file or not. If it is having Docker file, then whatever instructions we have written inside this Docker file, okay. So I have created a very simple Docker file and very minimum instructions are here. So based on these instructions, then OpenShift will start the build and will create the image, whatever we are listing here the instructions, okay. So like you can see, we are creating a executable jar file here, and we are exposing our container on the port 8080. Okay, so let me go start here, and let me show you the structure of my template, how we can write the template. Okay, so one by one let me show you every element here. So once you will write the template, okay, so API version means you either you can define the full API, means how means it is kind of the template, okay. So that's why we named it template.openshift.io, okay. Either way you can remove this part, okay, and can have it only v1, okay. That is fine also, because OpenShift will understand what kind of it is based on the kind parameter here, okay, because it is the template kind, okay. So now OpenShift will know it is a template, okay. And then in metadata section you can identify the name of your template. I named it docker hyphen template, okay. Then from here, it is very important to understand, from here now we are creating our resources. All these things are the OpenShift resources we are creating, okay. Whatever highlighted here you can see, okay, means from star image stream, building configuration, build configurations, deploy configuration, deployment config, service and route, okay. And then we are having parameter, okay. I will let you know everything. Let me start first with the parameters, okay, because these parameters we are also using inside once we will create the resource, okay. So how OpenShift will run the template, okay. So it will execute template line by line, okay. So means this template engine will work as a interpreter, okay. It will execute line by line, okay. So whatever you are you are writing in the top, it will execute first, okay. It means it will create template first, then it will create once you will execute this template, it will create the image stream first. After it, it will create the build config. After it, it will create the deployment config, so on, okay. So you need to once you will write your template, you need to manage and rearrange your resources depending on the if any resource is having dependency on the other, okay, then that resource should be on the top and the dependent resource should be at the bottom, okay. That should be your strategy once you will write the template. Then we are having parameters, okay. In this parameter I have created four parameters. One is the application's name, another is the project name, and the get URL of my application, and the branch name, okay. Branch name value, as of now I am giving it as default as master, but as you know that my branch is the QA, so I will let you know how we will call these parameters at the runtime, okay. And we will provide the values of this of these parameters, so that our template will start and will create all these resources for us, okay. So let me understand one by one what is image stream. So image stream is because we are creating image from the build, okay. So that's why we just created a image stream and we named it, the name would be the name which we are going to provide at the runtime, okay, through this parameter. You can see the parameter name is app name, okay. So at the runtime, it will get the value of this application name and will assign this application name to the image stream as well. Okay. Let me understand the build config. Okay. Let me show you here. It is a big one. So the kind is the build config. Application name would be the same which we are going to the application name. Namespace means is the our project name. Okay. So I will let you know on this also. Okay. The project name it will take as namespace. Then these are the labels. Labels are also very crucial things. Okay. I will try to create a video on the label also. Okay, then output means once the build is complete, then output will be in the image stream, okay, with the tag this, okay, app name and the latest. This will be the, so as I told you, it will create the image internally, okay, so that image will be created. Now here, this is the very important thing, strategy. Okay, as I told you that we are taking strategy as the Docker. That's why I mention it Docker, and then we are defining the Docker strategy. Okay, you might have the H2I. If you are having the H2I, then your strategy would be the source, and it would be kind of source strategy. Okay. Okay, but our strategy is the Docker. So our Docker file is, so we are providing a Docker file, and this is our Docker file path. It will is context direct dir is the root. Okay, so in the root there should be a Docker file. As I shown you here, in the context root we are having, in the context root we are having our Docker file. Okay, so from here it will get it, and URI, okay, at the runtime we will provide the URI of our git, and the branch name QA we will also provide. Okay, and the context directory it will take as root. Okay, then these are the triggers. Then let me understand the deployment configurations. Once build configuration is complete and our internal image is ready, then deployment configuration will come into the place, and we will start a deployment configuration with the same name, namespace, and strategy type would be rolling. Okay, and these are some other parameters we are giving. Then in the triggers we are giving some kind of things. Okay, and from where, from it will take the image, okay, from the image stream tag, and will get the image with this name and the latest tag. Okay, and will create our pods and the workloads. Okay, and as of now it will create a one pod only, means replica one means only one pod only it will create. Okay, then other informations are we are giving here. I am not going into the deep. Okay, you can copy these templates for my git, okay, to use it, and you can play with this template. Now we are creating service. Okay, once our pod and workloads are ready, then services also require to listen, okay, how we are going to access our containers. Okay, so service we are giving, and as I told you, our in the Docker file, as I shown you, that our container is listening on the port 8080, so we are configuring here port 8080. Okay, and the TCP protocol, so you can see these things here. And then finally we are creating the route. Okay, and these are our route. Okay, simple, everything we are providing, name, namespace and everything, and kind service, and service name would be, because route will be created on top of the service. Okay, so that's why it is taking the name service and the service name. Okay, and if you can see, we are giving our service name as, in the metadata section of service, the name app name. Okay, so that's why it is taking a route from the service as the service name. Okay, so I think now these things are clear to you. So let me go ahead and go inside our developer sandbox, our OpenShift cluster environment. Okay, if you are not sure that how we can practice and how we can learn our the things into the OpenShift cluster, then Red Hat is providing a very easy way for you by creating the developer sandbox for you. Okay, you can go there and can have your own developer sandbox. You can configure it. It is just in 10 minutes you can create your sandbox. Okay, so I have created my sandbox. So for it you need to go inside the developers.redhat.com, click over it, developer sandbox. Okay, and then you need to click get started in the sandbox. Okay, then it will come with the option launch your developer sandbox in Red Hat OpenShift. Okay, so I have already having my sandbox. So once I will log in with my ID. Okay, so let me log in into the Red Hat. Okay, yeah, so it is saying that I am already having the sandbox. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me start my sandbox. If you are not having already sandbox, then here it will show you create the sandbox, okay, developer sandbox. So you can go ahead and create your sandbox. So it is just 5 or 10 minutes work. Okay, so in only 5 or 10 minutes you are having your own OpenShift cluster to learn. Okay, and freely you can deploy anything in this cluster. Okay, but the limit I think is the initially it was for the 15 days, but I think now it is for 1 month. Okay, so for 1 month you will get this cluster, and after 1 month is complete, you can recreate your developer sandbox. Okay, so nothing to worry about it. So it is my OpenShift environment. You can see it is my OpenShift web UI, and how we can connect with the CLI. Okay, so here you need to click on your name and then click here, copy login command. It will open a new tab. Go to developer sandbox link. Here it is showing display token. Okay, click over here it, and now it is login with. So it has been generated a token for me. Okay, but to use CLI you must have your OpenShift client installed in your machine. If you are using Linux, you are using Windows, if you are using Mac, okay, then different OC clients are there for different operating systems. You need to have this OC client installed. If you want, you can check my videos. I have created a video on the how to install the OpenShift client, okay, on various machines, as well as I have created a video how you can create your developer sandbox inside the Red Hat environment. Okay, so let me log in into our OpenShift cluster by using this command which we have just copied. Okay, so it is saying that I am I have now logged in and I am currently using this project. Okay, Tejinder Rana Dev, and if I show you OC get all, currently I am not having any application inside it. Okay, so currently I am not having any resource. Okay, so it is saying no resource. Okay, so now let me create first template. Okay, so if I run the command OC get template, then it is showing no resource found. So we are currently having no template. Okay, then let we go inside our directory where we are having the template. Okay, this is the path. Let me show you my file. This is our file, docker-template.yaml. Okay, the same file which I have shown you. Okay, so we will run command OC create, then -f is the file. Okay, and we are going to provide the file name, and our file name is the docker-template.yaml, and just execute it. Okay, it will create the template. So let's see if okay, so it has created a template for us. Now if we execute the OC get template command, it will show us the template. Okay, so this template it has been created, but currently only the template has been created. Okay, no resources. Okay, as of now there is a no resource. If you run OC get all command, it will show no resource for you. Okay, it is showing no resource. Okay, then let me also show you um, describe. Okay, let me uh, describe template and the template name. So it will give you the information about the template and what all parameters is required at the time of running. Okay, so here you can see the name. A name of template is this, name space is the my project name. Okay, created this time ago, and these are the parameters. Okay, these are required at the time of executing the template. Okay, these all are required. Here you can see in these three we are giving no value, but here we are giving a default value master, but we need to change it. Okay, so let we execute this template and create the resources whatever we are mentioning inside this template. Okay, so how we can execute this? Either we can use the process command or either we can use the new app command. Okay, so let we try with the new app command here. OC new app, then hyphen hyphen template, okay, and the template name, and template name is docker template, and then we have to provide the parameter name. Okay, then first parameter, let us give first parameter is branch name, and branch name would be QA. Then let we give second parameter as get API URL. Okay, and API URL would be, let me copy it from our get. Okay, it should be this one. Okay, and third parameter would be project name, and our project name is TEJE hyphen DEV, and then third parameter is app name. Sorry. Sorry, all should be in caps, and let we give our app name as hello one. Okay, and let me execute it. So now it will creating. So here you can see, okay, creating resources. Okay, this is creating first image stream, build config, deployment config, service, and this, and for all we are giving the name as hello. Okay, let we now see our OC status. Okay, so currently build is going on. Okay, so let we see OC get pod. Okay, so currently our build is completed and our application is now in running. So as I know that we created only single replica, that's why it has created one pod for our application and it is currently running now. Okay, so let we see Oshi get service, if we see if service has been created or not. Sorry, command should be svc. Okay, so our service hello one has been created. Let me see if our route has been created or no. Okay, yes, so our routes also has been created. This is our route. Let me copy it and let's see if our application is accessible or not into the browser. Yes, our application is running perfectly. Okay, so as I shown you, our template has been created. If I go to OC get all, then you can see it has been, our template has been created all these resources for us on the OpenShift environment. And I will show you in the web also. Okay, you can see these are our pods and these are the other things. Okay, let we go back to our pod. Okay, so here you can see it is just created the workload. Okay, and if you go to the networking, then you can see the service has been created, the route has been created, Okay, and inside the build, okay, the build config has been created, the build has been created, okay, and in the image stream one image has been created with the name of hello. Okay, and same way in the if you go to the workload and deployment config, okay, our deployment config has been created. Okay, so that's all for this tutorial. Okay, in the next tutorial we will deep dive into the template in more detail. In the next tutorial I will show you the how we can create the persistent volume claim, and after it we will create the complex template, and which will having the multiple containers. Okay, the full-fledged application having the database as well as the application code as well as the persistent volume claim. Okay, so that you will have how to write the complex template. Thanks for watching.